When when I was nearly 14, a boy threw a smile at me from the football field, and he was older than me, and I was dazzled by him. And in my defense, I was only 13, and I was stupid enough to tell him my name. He held my hand on the first day, and he kissed me on the second, and by the fifth date we were inseparable. He paid for the dinners, the films, and a pretty dress. And he took me to his favourite place. And he sang me a song while strumming on his guitar. I thought he loved me, and I thought I loved him back. So much that when he told me I was fat, I stopped eating, and so much that I tried the best I could not to cry with each punch and slap that he threw at me. So much that I tried to be perfect, and I spoke carefully around him. So much that I didn't stop him. I didn't stop him when he slipped his hands in my shirt, and I didn't cry when he put his hands under my skirt. And I only asked him to stop once, and his eyes turned red and his voice got so loud I wanted to die. So I lay there while he did whatever he pleased. And that night I went home and I tried to scrub the feeling off my skin. I convinced myself that it was only love. He'd call me and said he was sorry. He'd say he was sorry and that he loved me the next day, but barely a week has passed, and he would start again and again, and again and again, and again. And I covered my bruises, the marks of his temper, and I took the razor blade to my skin when my hair fell out and my mouth turned dried and my cheek turned sallow, and he told me that I wasn't thin enough still. My defense, I was only 13 and I was stupid. He promised me lovely things and I swallowed them all, dying to have his forever. The day I turned 14, he took my left hand and he slipped a diamond ring on my finger. And I told myself that he loved me and he never hurt me, ever. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to stop the bruises, and it wasn't enough to let me eat more than 300 calories a day, and it just wasn't enough to stop the razor blades from dancing all over my skin. He didn't think I was pretty enough or thin enough, and he told me by kissing my best friend. I threw away my diamond ring and the pretty dress and the hoodies he let me wear. I stopped talking and stayed in bed for 3 days without sleeping or eating, but then the bruises they faded, and I smiled again after a year, but I still flinch whenever someone raises their hand, and I'll cry, but only a little. My defense, I was only 14.